You know, the first day at a new job always feels like walking into a new world. Everything looks new. Every sound, every face, even the smell of the coffee in the office, it all feels unfamiliar. You smile, but deep inside, your heart beats a little faster. You want to do well. You want people to like you. But more than anything, you want to understand what's going on around you. That's where our story begins today. It's 8:30 in the morning. The city is already alive. Cars move fast, people rush with their phones, and the sun reflects on tall glass buildings. You stand near the office entrance, holding your bag, taking a deep breath. It's your first day. You whisper to yourself quietly, "I can do this." The security guard greets you with a smile. "Good morning. You must be the new one." You nod, a little shy. "Yes, my first day." He gives you a visitor's badge and points to the elevator. "Take the lift to the 5th floor. The HR team will meet you there." As you walk inside the elevator, you look at your reflection in the mirror. You check your shirt, fix your hair, and smile nervously. The doors close and the soft sound of music plays. For a moment, you feel alone with your thoughts. What if I say something wrong? What if my English sounds strange? When the doors open, you step into a bright, open office. Desks everywhere, people typing, phones ringing softly. A woman with kind eyes walks toward you. "Hi there. You must be Alex, right?" You nod again. "Yes, that's me." She shakes your hand warmly. "Welcome. I'm Sarah from HR. Let's get you settled." As she walks you through the office, she explains where everything is: the meeting rooms, the kitchen, the break area. You listen carefully, but sometimes your mind drifts. Her words sound clear but fast. You catch most of it, but not all. You smile and nod, pretending to understand everything. Then you meet your team. 4 people sitting together, typing on laptops. They look friendly. Sarah introduces you one by one. "This is John, the team lead. That's Mia, our designer. Over there is Kevin, and next to him, Emma." They all wave and smile. John stands up. "Welcome, Alex. We're happy to have you on board." You reply, trying to sound confident, "Thank you. I'm excited to start." The day begins quietly. You sit at your new desk, open your computer, and see a long list of emails. Most of them are short and simple, but some look complex. You open one and read, "Hi team, please prepare the client report by end of day. Make sure all data is verified and formatted properly. Let's sync at 3 p.m. You pause. EOD? Sync. You've seen these words before, but they still confuse you. You quickly search online, ED, end of day. Sync, to meet or discuss. You nod to yourself. Okay, got it. During lunch, everyone goes to the cafeteria. You join them, carrying your tray, trying to smile. The others chat about weekend plans, movies, and office jokes. You listen more than you talk. Sometimes you laugh when others laugh, even if you don't fully understand the joke. But that's okay. You're learning the rhythm, the sound of real, natural conversation. Mia asks you kindly, "So Alex, how was your first morning?" You smile, "Good so far. A bit new, but exciting." She laughs, "Don't worry. Everyone feels that way on their first day. Soon, you'll know every corner of this place." Her voice is friendly, comforting. You relax a little. You take a sip of coffee and look around. You notice small things: the sound of people typing, the smell of food, the laughter in the corner. You think to yourself, this place feels alive. After lunch, John calls you to his desk. "Hey, Alex, can you help me review this file?" You nod quickly. "Sure." He explains what to check, but again, some words fly past too fast. "Just highlight any missing data, then we'll sync later," he says. You nod again, hoping you understood everything. You spend the next hour trying to figure it out. You check every line carefully. You Google some terms. You whisper to yourself in English as you work. Okay, check this one. No data here. Good. Next line. At 3 p.m., it's time for the team meeting. You sit with everyone around a big table. John begins, all right, quick updates. Mia, how's the design going? She answers confidently. Then Kevin talks about the numbers, Emma about the report. Finally, John looks at you. Alex, how's your progress? Your heart beats fast again. You clear your throat. I'm still reviewing the file. I've found some missing data, but I will finish before end of day. John smiles. Good. Great start. Everyone nods politely. You feel a small wave of relief. You did it, you spoke up. Even just one small sentence, but it felt like a step forward. When the day ends, you pack your bag and look out the window. The city lights begin to shine. You take a deep breath and smile softly. It wasn't perfect. You made small mistakes. But you survived your first day. You learned new words. You talked to real people. You used English to live, not just to study. And that's how confidence begins, not from knowing every word, but from being brave enough to speak, to listen, to keep trying. You walk out of the office and whisper again, I can do this. And this time, you truly believe it. The next morning, Alex arrives early. The sky is still soft and gray, the streets are quiet, and the smell of fresh coffee fills the air. There's something peaceful about being early. You can hear your own footsteps. You can breathe before the noise begins. Alex walks through the office door and greets the security guard. Morning. The guard smiles. Morning, Alex. Early bird today, huh? Alex laughs softly. Yes, trying to make a good impression. When Alex reaches the desk, only a few people are there. The computer hums gently as it turns on. The inbox is already full of emails. Most of them short, but full of office words that still sound new. Deadline, feedback, update, draft, approve. Alex reads one. Hey team, just a reminder, please CC the manager on all client emails. Thanks. Alex pauses. CC? Another office word to learn. So he quickly searches again. CC means carbon copy. It's when you send an email to someone else to keep them informed. He smiles. Okay. Another small rule. Then he reads another message. Please follow the meeting etiquette. Be on time, mute your mic, and share updates clearly. Alex thinks meeting etiquette. It's another phrase that feels formal but important. He writes it down in a small notebook, his new English learning habit. Office English, new words today. CC, send a copy of email. Meeting etiquette, polite rules for meetings. Deadline, final time to finish work. He feels proud. It's like building a new language, brick by brick. Around 9 a.m., people start arriving. Mia waves. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, he says brightly. John passes by with his coffee. Team meeting in 10 minutes, conference room 2. Alex nods and gets ready. He opens his notes, rehearsing how to say small things in English naturally. Good idea. I agree. That sounds great. Could you repeat that, please? He whispers them quietly, smiling at how confident they sound. When the meeting begins, everyone sits around the table. The big screen shows charts and slides. John speaks quickly, but clearly. Okay, team, we need to prepare a short client presentation by Friday. Let's divide the work. Mia, design slides. Kevin, collect data. Emma, write summary. And Alex, you'll check for grammar and flow. You're good with words, right? Alex feels both nervous and happy. I'll do my best, he replies. The meeting continues, and sometimes Alex doesn't understand everything. But he listens carefully to the rhythm. How people speak, how they interrupt politely, how they use small expressions like, that makes sense, good point, let's circle back, or I'll keep you posted. He writes those down secretly in his notebook too. After the meeting, John comes to his desk. Good job taking notes, Alex. One small thing, when we write to clients, we use formal English. No short forms, okay? Alex nods, got it. Like not using can't or won't, right? John smiles, exactly. Right, cannot, will not, I am, instead of I'm. Just sounds more professional. Alex notes it down. Every small detail is a lesson. Later that day, a message pops up on the chat app. Hi Alex, could you please check the draft before 4 p.m.? T checks. T checks. Alex mutters. Another short form. He smiles. People love shortcuts here. He quickly replies, sure, I'll send it soon. He checks the draft carefully. There are small grammar mistakes, missing commas, a few confusing lines. He fixes them, double-checks, and sends it back. A few minutes later, Mia replies, perfect, thanks Alex. You're really quick. That one message makes him feel light. It's a small thing, but small things matter when you're new. That afternoon, something funny happens. Alex walks to the kitchen to make coffee. Two colleagues are there, chatting. One of them says, hey, did you get the memo? The other laughs, yeah, another policy update. Alex doesn't know what memo means. He smiles politely, pretending to understand, but curiosity burns inside. After they leave, he opens his phone again. Memo, a short official note from management. He laughs quietly. Okay, not a person's name. Just a message. It's funny how work life has its own secret language. Words you don't learn in textbooks, but you hear every day: memo, ASAP, FYI, PTO, KPI. Each one is like a small door that opens into understanding how people communicate at work. Later, John calls from across the room. Hey Alex, could you send me the updated version ASAP? Alex replies confidently, sure, I'll send it right away. Inside, he smiles. He knows what ASAP means now, as soon as possible. It feels good to understand and respond naturally. At lunchtime, the team sits together again. Today the conversation is about office habits. Kevin laughs. You know the funniest thing? Every Friday, someone forgets to clean the microwave. Mia adds, yeah, and then the smell of burnt popcorn stays for days. Emma rolls her eyes. Office rule number 1. Don't burn popcorn. Everyone laughs. Alex laughs too. He feels more relaxed this time. He even adds softly, maybe they should write that rule on the wall. The table bursts into laughter again. For the first time, Alex feels like part of the group. After lunch, Sarah from HR stops by with a small checklist. Hey Alex, just wanted to go through some company policies. Nothing serious, just the basics. They sit together for 10 minutes. She explains simple rules. Keep your ID visible. Don't share company files outside. Respect meeting times. Ask questions if you're unsure. Sarah smiles kindly. We don't expect perfection, Alex. We just like people who communicate openly. If you don't understand something, ask. People will appreciate it. That one line stays in Alex's mind all day. People will appreciate it. Because that's something many English learners forget. Asking questions isn't weakness. It's confidence. In the late afternoon, Alex joins another small meeting online. It's his first virtual call. He checks the microphone, adjusts his camera, and waits. The screen fills with faces. Someone says, "Can everyone hear me?" Another replies, "Yes, loud and clear." John starts, "Okay, let's keep this short. Just quick updates." As others speak, Alex listens carefully to how they use polite English online. "Can I share my screen? Let's move on to the next slide. Sorry, I was on mute. I'll drop the link in the chat." Each phrase feels like another step in learning real-life English. When it's Alex's turn, he feels a small wave of nervousness, but he speaks clearly. "I reviewed the client report and made some grammar updates. It's ready for final check." John nods. Nice work, Alex. Thanks for being so thorough. The meeting ends with polite goodbyes. Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow. Take care. And Alex leans back in his chair, smiling. It's only his second day, but already things feel different. He's no longer the silent observer. He's part of the rhythm now, understanding the rules, the tone, the small details that make communication work. He realizes something powerful. In every office, it's not just what you do, it's how you speak, how you listen, how you respond. That's what builds trust. When he leaves the office that evening, the air feels lighter. He looks at the sunset and whispers to himself, I'm getting better. Every day, one step. Every word, one lesson. Every conversation, one chance to grow. And that's how English becomes more than grammar or vocabulary. It becomes connection. By the third day, something inside Alex begins to shift. The nervous feeling is still there, but smaller now, like a quiet voice in the background instead of a storm. He's getting used to the sounds of the office, the tapping of keyboards, the soft laughter near the coffee machine, the beeping of the printer. Today, John is away at a client meeting, so the mood in the office feels lighter. People are relaxed. There's soft music playing in the background, and someone is making tea. Mia turns to Alex with a bright smile. Hey, coffee or tea? Alex replies, coffee, please. I need it to wake up. She laughs, same here. I think I'm 70% coffee at this point. Alex chuckles. Then we work in the right place. That small, funny exchange breaks the ice. It's simple, but powerful. Because small talk is how people build comfort. It's how strangers become teammates. A few minutes later, Kevin joins them. He's the loud, funny one in the group. So, Alex, he says, how are you finding the office so far? Still surviving? Alex smiles, yes, still alive. Everyone's been really kind. Kevin grins. Good. Wait until the next deadline. Then we'll see who's still smiling. Everyone laughs. Mia adds, don't listen to him. He just likes to scare new people. Alex laughs again. I'll try to stay brave. The conversation continues easily. They talk about food, the city, weekend plans. It's the kind of English that isn't in textbooks, light, spontaneous, full of rhythm and tone. Alex notices the way people pause, how they use words like kinda, yeah, you know, and right to make speech flow naturally. He thinks to himself, this is what I want to speak like that. Naturally. Effortlessly. Later that morning, Alex goes to the break area to refill his coffee. Two colleagues are standing near the window, chatting about something funny. One of them waves him over. Hey Alex, come here. We were just talking about our first jobs. Do you remember yours? Alex smiles shyly. Oh yes. My first job was in a small bookstore. I used to help customers find books. The colleague laughs. That sounds peaceful. Alex nods, yes, except when children came in. They turned the place into a playground. They all laugh. The atmosphere is easy-friendly. Then one of them says, I once worked in a restaurant. I dropped a whole tray of drinks in front of everyone. The other adds, I burned my hand making coffee on my first day. Alex laughs, maybe mistakes are part of every job. The colleague nods. Exactly. If you don't make mistakes, you're not learning. That moment feels warm. Real. For the first time, Alex isn't thinking about grammar or vocabulary. He's just talking, listening, responding, connecting. Back at his desk, Alex receives a quick message on the office chat. Mia, hey Alex, can you join us for lunch later? We're going to the sandwich place nearby. Alex, sure. Thanks for inviting me, smiley face. He feels happy. It's a small invitation, but it means he's becoming part of the group. When lunchtime comes, they all walk together down the street. The sun is bright, and people from nearby offices fill the sidewalks. The sandwich shop smells amazing, fresh bread, cheese, and warm soup. They sit by the window, talking between bites. Kevin asks, "So, Alex, what brought you here? Why this job?" Alex answers honestly, "I wanted to work in an international company. A place where I can use English every day. I want to become more fluent." Emma smiles. "That's a great reason. Honestly, you're doing really well already." Alex laughs softly. "Thank you, but I still make mistakes." Mia says, "We all do. Even native speakers." Kevin adds with a grin, "Yeah, you should hear me on Monday mornings. I can't even speak to my coffee." Everyone laughs again. The laughter feels good. It feels human. They continue talking about movies, food, even the weather. Alex learns how people change their tone when they speak casually. He hears phrases like, "No worries." "You bet." "Kind of." "I'm not sure, maybe later." "That's cool." Simple, but natural. He repeats them quietly in his mind, practicing the rhythm. "No worries." "That's cool. Maybe later." After lunch, as they walk back, Emma asks, "So, Alex, do you like working in an office?" He thinks for a moment. "It's new for me. Sometimes I feel nervous, but every day I learn something different. That's what I like." She smiles. "That's the spirit." The afternoon passes quickly. Around 3 p.m., Kevin starts joking again. "Guys, I think my computer hates me. It just froze for the 5th time." Mia laughs. "Maybe it's trying to tell you to work less." Kevin replies, "If only computers could talk. I'd ask mine to do the work for me." Alex joins in, or at least make the coffee. Everyone bursts into laughter again. These small moments teach Alex something deeper. Fluency isn't only about words. It's about timing. Knowing when to smile, when to add a comment, when to laugh. It's a dance between people, not a test. At the end of the day, John returns from his meeting. "Hey team, how was everything today?" Kevin says, "Smooth. We trained Alex well. He's one of us now." John smiles. "That's great to hear." Then he looks at Alex. "How's the first week treating you?" Alex replies with a grin, "I'm learning the language of the office. One coffee at a time." Everyone laughs. John nods proudly. That's the right attitude. When Alex leaves that evening, he takes a moment to look back at the office. The desks, the people, the soft lights. It already feels a little like home. He walks out into the cool evening air, thinking about everything that happened. He didn't just practice English. He lived it, through jokes, through stories, through real connection. And that's when he realizes something important. Language isn't just about talking. It's about belonging. You can study grammar for years, but until you share a laugh, ask a question, or tell your story, the language stays locked inside you. That day, Alex unlocked a small piece of English, not from a book, but from life itself. He smiles to himself as he walks down the street, whispering, "Every conversation is a lesson." The next morning feels different. The office is busier, noisier. Phones ring, people rush to meetings, and everyone seems to walk a little faster. You can feel it, the quiet tension in the air. Something big is coming. John calls out from across the room, "Team, the client wants the final report by tomorrow morning, not Friday." Mia looks surprised. "Tomorrow? That's too soon." John nods, "I know, but we'll make it happen. Let's work together." No delays. Alex feels his stomach tighten. Tomorrow morning? That means less than 24 hours to finish everything. The design, the numbers, the summary, and the grammar check. John turns to him. "Alex, you'll handle the final proofreading. Make sure everything sounds clean and professional." "Okay." Alex replies quickly, "Of course. I'll take care of it." He wants to sound confident, but inside, his thoughts race. That's a lot of pages. What if I miss something? What if there's a mistake? He takes a deep breath and starts reading line by line. The words blur together after a while. He checks the sentences for grammar, punctuation, and spelling. He reads them out loud quietly, trying to make sure they sound natural. Hours pass. Everyone's working hard. Mia's drawing designs, Kevin's checking numbers, Emma's editing the summary. The whole team is focused. The only sound is the click of keyboards and the quiet hum of concentration. Then, at around 5 p.m., John walks by and says, "How's it going, Alex?" Alex smiles politely, almost done. "Just one more section to review." "Great. Send me the file when you're finished. I'll forward it to the client before I leave." Alex nods and keeps going. Finally, he finishes, double-checks the file, and attaches it to an email. He types, "Hi John, here's the final report. Everything is checked and ready. Best, Alex." He clicks send and exhales. Done. He stretches his arms, feeling both tired and relieved. It's been a long day, but he did it. The next morning, as Alex arrives, he notices something unusual. The office feels silent. Too silent. People glance at him, then look away. John stands near his desk, looking serious. "Alex, can I talk to you for a moment?" Alex feels his heart skip. "Sure." They step into a small meeting room. John closes the door gently and says, "We have a small issue. The client found a few errors in the report. Some numbers in the summary section don't match the data table." Alex freezes. "Oh, I checked the grammar and spelling, but I didn't change the numbers." John nods, "I know. The data was updated late, and we didn't tell you. It's not your fault completely. But still, we need to fix it quickly." Alex swallows hard. His hands feel cold. "I understand. I'll help correct it right now." John softens his tone. "Don't worry too much. Mistakes happen. What matters is how we fix them." Those words echo in Alex's mind. Mistakes happen. What matters is how we fix them. He goes back to his desk and immediately starts working. He opens the file, compares the numbers, and corrects every error he finds. Then he checks the sentences again, making sure everything sounds clear. Mia comes over quietly. "Hey, you okay?" Alex sighs, "Yeah, just fixing the report. Some wrong data." She smiles kindly. "It happens all the time. Last month I sent the wrong design to a client. I thought I'd lose my job, but John just said, 'We all make mistakes.'" Alex looks up, surprised. "Really?" "Of course. Nobody's perfect. The key is to stay calm and learn from it." Her words help. He feels his shoulders relax a little. Around lunchtime, Kevin walks by holding 2 cups of coffee. He sets one on Alex's desk. "Here, you look like you need this." Alex smiles weakly. "Thanks. I really do." Kevin grins. "We've all been there. Once, I sent an email without an attachment. The client replied, 'Thanks for the invisible file.' I wanted to hide under my desk." Alex laughs softly for the first time that day. "I guess that makes me feel better." "Good," Kevin says. "Because trust me, one mistake doesn't define you. How you fix it does." By afternoon, the new version of the report is ready. Alex and John review it together carefully. John says, "Perfect. Let's send it again." Alex nods, double-checked everything this time. They send it to the client, and a few hours later, a reply comes in. "Thanks for the quick correction. Everything looks good now." John smiles and pats Alex's shoulder. "See? Problem solved." Alex feels relief flood through him. The pressure fades, replaced by quiet pride. That evening, as most people leave, Alex stays behind for a few minutes, staring at the computer screen. He thinks about everything that happened. How he panicked. How he blamed himself. How he fixed it anyway. He whispers, "I didn't fail. I learned." It's a small sentence, but it carries a big truth. Mistakes are not the end. They're the middle of the story, the part where we grow stronger. He opens his notebook and writes a new note to himself. When you make a mistake, don't hide. Communicate. Fix it. Learn from it. He smiles softly, closes the notebook, and switches off the monitor. As he walks out, the night sky feels wide and calm. The streetlights glow softly on the wet road. He breathes in deeply and says to himself, every mistake is a lesson in disguise. And that night, he sleeps deeply, not because the day was easy, but because he faced it bravely. A few weeks pass. The rhythm of work feels familiar now. The sound of the coffee machine in the morning, the click of keyboards, the laughter near the window, all of it feels like part of Alex's world. Every day still brings small challenges, but they don't scare him anymore. He's learned how to breathe, how to ask, how to listen, and more importantly, how to speak. One Monday morning, John gathers the team. Good news, everyone. We have a new project coming up, a client from overseas. We'll have weekly meetings with them, and I'll need someone to take notes and handle communication. Any volunteers? The room goes quiet for a moment. Everyone looks down at their laptops. Then, to his own surprise, Alex hears himself say, I can do it. John looks at him with raised eyebrows. Really? That's great, Alex. You'll do fine. The others smile. Mia gives him a small thumbs up. Inside, Alex feels both proud and nervous. It's his first real step into something bigger, speaking English in front of people who speak it every day. That Friday, the first client meeting begins. The faces appear on the big screen, 4 people from another country. Their voices sound smooth, fast, professional. Good morning, everyone, says the woman on the screen. Can you all hear us clearly? John replies, yes, loud and clear. He looks at Alex and nods. You can start the notes, Alex. Alex smiles and begins typing quickly. The meeting moves fast, with terms like deliverables, milestones, timeline, scope, and feedback loops. He keeps up as best as he can, writing everything carefully. Then, halfway through the meeting, the client asks, could you please clarify the second point about design updates? Everyone pauses. John looks at Alex. Alex, can you explain that part? You reviewed the last report, right? Alex freezes for a second. The screen feels too bright. His heart beats faster. But then he remembers something John once said. Don't aim for perfect English. Aim for clear English. He takes a breath and begins slowly, yes, sure. The design updates include small layout changes for the client dashboard. We will finish them by next week and send for review. The client nods, smiling. Perfect. Thank you for clarifying. Alex exhales softly. That one small moment feels huge. He did it. He spoke clearly. He was understood. After the meeting, John pats his shoulder. Nice job, Alex. You spoke clearly and confidently. Mia smiles, see? You're a natural. Alex laughs shyly. Thanks. I was nervous. John replies, everyone's nervous. The trick is to speak anyway. That line sticks with Alex. The trick is to speak anyway. Because confidence doesn't appear before you speak. It appears after. Over the next few weeks, Alex starts joining more discussions. During team meetings, he no longer stays quiet. When someone asks for ideas, he shares his thoughts. Sometimes his sentences aren't perfect. Sometimes he searches for words. But people listen. They nod. They respond. And that's what matters most. In one meeting, John asks, does anyone have suggestions for the next presentation theme? Alex raises his hand. Maybe we can make it more story-based, like showing how our product helps people in real life. John's eyes light up. That's a great idea. Mia adds yes. We could add photos and small quotes from clients. Kevin says, perfect. That'll make it more emotional. Alex smiles. His idea started something. For the first time, He feels not just part of the team, but valuable. One day during lunch, Emma says, "Alex, your English has improved so fast. What's your secret?" He laughs softly. "I listen. A lot. I repeat what I hear. I write new words in my notebook. And I try not to worry too much about mistakes." Mia nods. "That's the best way. We learn fastest when we stop being afraid of being wrong." Kevin adds, "Exactly. You speak like you're thinking in English now." Alex smiles, "Maybe a little. I even dream in English sometimes." They all laugh. That afternoon, Alex looks at his notebook again. The one he started on his first week, filled with small notes, phrases, and reminders. He turns to a new page and writes, "Confidence is not speaking perfect English. Confidence is speaking even when your English isn't perfect." He underlines the sentence twice. A few days later, something interesting happens. During a regular meeting, John's internet suddenly cuts off. The screen freezes. Everyone looks confused. Mia says, "Looks like John's connection dropped." Kevin laughs, "The captain has left the ship." Everyone chuckles, but then the client says, "Should we continue or wait for him to reconnect?" There's a small pause. And then, Alex speaks up. He says calmly, "Let's continue. John shared the plan earlier, so I can walk you through it." He opens the slides and begins speaking slowly, clearly, confidently. "The first part of our project focuses on improving the design experience. The second part will cover customer feedback and data testing. Finally, we'll prepare a detailed summary before launch." The client listens carefully. "That's great, Alex. Thanks for keeping things going." A few minutes later, John returns online, smiling. "Looks like I missed nothing. Alex, you handled it perfectly." Alex feels a warm wave of pride. He didn't just survive that moment, he led it. That evening, after work, he takes a quiet walk outside. The sky is golden with sunset and the city hums softly. He thinks about how far he's come from the nervous first day to this moment of calm confidence. He remembers all the times he doubted himself, all the times he stayed quiet because he was afraid of sounding wrong. And now, here he is, using English naturally, without fear. He whispers to himself, "I didn't wait to feel confident. I became confident by doing." That's the real magic. Confidence doesn't come from knowing every word. It comes from using the words you already know. And as he walks under the fading orange light, Alex smiles softly. The fear is gone. In its place, there's something stronger: trust. Trust in himself. Trust in the process. Trust in his voice. The following month brings a new project, one that will test everyone's teamwork. The company is preparing a major client presentation, something that could decide a long-term contract. John calls a meeting one morning. "All right, team. This is a big one. We'll need everyone's help: research, design, data, and communication. Let's make this our best work yet." Alex listens carefully, excitement growing in his chest. This is his chance to use his English not just to speak, but to connect. That afternoon, the team gathers in the small meeting room, laptops open, sticky notes everywhere, coffee cups half full. Mia takes the lead on design, Kevin handles data, Emma works on content, and Alex is in charge of writing and editing the presentation script in English. John says, "Alex, since your writing has improved so much, I'd like you to polish the final script. Make it simple and natural, like how people actually talk." Alex nods, smiling. "I can do that." He looks at the slides, full of technical words and business terms. Some of them are fine, but others sound heavy and complicated. He begins rewriting, changing sentences like, "Our objective is to enhance productivity and optimize workflow efficiency," into, "We want to make work easier and faster for everyone." It feels good, like he's giving life to words, making them human again. The next day, the team reviews his draft. Mia says, "This version feels so much more natural." Kevin adds, "Yeah, it's simple but strong." John nods, exactly what I wanted. Great job, Alex. Alex smiles quietly. Compliments still make him shy, but he feels proud. For the first time, he isn't just the quiet worker in the background. He's part of the voice of the team. Later that week, everyone stays late to finish the final slides. The office feels peaceful at night, just the soft sound of typing, quiet music, and the glow of computer screens. Emma stretches. We've been working for hours. Who wants coffee? Kevin laughs, always. Alex smiles, I'll come with you. In the kitchen, they talk casually. Emma says, you know, Alex, when you first joined, you were so quiet. I thought you were shy. He laughs, I was afraid of making mistakes. She replies warmly, well, now you talk more than Kevin. They both laugh. Kevin's voice calls from the other room, I heard that. Laughter fills the air, easy, light, familiar. As they return with coffee, Alex thinks about how language creates connection. It's not just about grammar or perfect pronunciation. It's about sharing small moments. A joke. A laugh. A story over coffee. That night, when the team finishes the last slide, John claps his hands. All right. We did it. Great job, everyone. Mia says we should celebrate after the presentation. Kevin adds, pizza night. Emma cheers, definitely. Alex grins, count me in. The next morning, the big presentation arrives. The clients are ready on video call. The whole team sits together, slightly nervous but excited. John begins, good morning, everyone. We're excited to share our new ideas today. He introduces the slides, and as planned, Alex handles the main narration. He takes a deep breath and begins speaking slowly, clearly, naturally. Our goal is simple, to make your work smoother and your time more valuable. We've designed every part of this project to help your team do more with less effort. His words flow gently, every sentence filled with care. Mia clicks through the slides, Kevin adds small details about data, and Emma supports with visuals. The teamwork feels perfect. Everyone knows when to speak, when to pause, when to smile. When the presentation ends, the client says warmly, that was wonderful. Very clear, very human. We could feel the teamwork behind it. John smiles proudly. Thank you. Then he looks at Alex. And thank you, Alex, for your beautiful narration. The team claps softly. Alex blushes, but can't stop smiling. In that moment, he realizes something. English is no longer a wall between him and others. It's now a bridge. After the presentation, the team heads out for pizza night. The restaurant is bright and noisy, full of laughter and music. They sit at a big round table, sharing stories and jokes. Kevin says, to our team and to Alex, for saving us with his smooth English. Everyone cheers. Alex laughs, I just spoke slowly so you could all keep up. They all laugh louder. It's a simple night, but it means everything: friendship, laughter, connection. Later, when the evening ends, Alex walks home under the streetlights. The city feels alive, warm, and welcoming. He thinks about the people around him, colleagues who've become friends. He thinks about how much he's learned, not just about English, but about people, patience, and teamwork. He whispers softly, when you speak from the heart, people always understand, even if your English isn't perfect. Because friendship doesn't need perfect grammar. It just needs honesty, warmth, and the courage to connect. And that's something Alex now knows deeply. After the successful presentation, things at work become busier than ever. New clients, new projects, and new expectations. John often says, success brings more work. And he's right. Alex feels proud to be part of it all, but also a little nervous. He now has to lead a small part of the next project on his own. For the first time, he's not just helping, he's in charge. On Monday morning, John calls him into the meeting room. Alex, he says kindly, you've done a great job so far. I want you to handle the new client communication this time. You'll send updates, write reports, and host the weekly meeting. Alex's eyes widen. Me? Host the meeting? John smiles. Yes, I trust you. You've earned it. Alex nods, trying to stay calm. But as he leaves the room, his mind races. What if I make mistakes? What if they don't understand me? What if I forget something? The doubts whisper inside him, just like they did on his first day. But this time, he also remembers something else. The trick is to speak anyway. That Friday, the first meeting begins. Alex sits in front of his laptop, heart beating fast. The client joins the call. Everyone's faces appear. He greets them with a smile. Good morning, everyone. I'm Alex. I'll be hosting today's meeting. Thank you for joining. His voice shakes a little, but no one seems to notice. The client smiles. Good morning, Alex. Nice to meet you. He continues slowly, clearly. Today, we'll go over the project progress and next steps. Please feel free to ask questions anytime. The meeting goes well, mostly. But near the end, one of the clients asks a difficult question about a report. Alex quickly opens the file but can't find the exact number. He freezes for a few seconds. The silence feels long. Too long. Then he says softly, I'm sorry, I don't have the exact number right now. But I'll check and send it right after the meeting. The client nods, smiling kindly. No problem. Thank you. When the call ends, Alex exhales deeply. He feels tired but proud. He didn't know everything, and that's okay. What mattered was honesty and calmness. Later that day, John walks by his desk. Good work, Alex. You handled the meeting well. Remember, no one knows everything. Being honest builds trust. Alex smiles. Thanks, John. I'll get better each time. John nods. You already are. Over the next few weeks, Alex gets busier. He has to manage reports, send daily updates, and join several calls. Some days are smooth, others are messy. One Wednesday, he wakes up feeling tired. His voice feels weak. But there's an important meeting, so he joins anyway. Halfway through, his internet connection suddenly drops. The screen freezes. The sound breaks. He panics for a moment. Then he breathes. When the connection returns, he says calmly, Sorry, I lost connection for a moment. Could you please repeat the last part? The client smiles. Of course, no problem. The meeting continues. Nothing breaks. Everything goes fine. And later, he realizes mistakes and interruptions don't destroy communication. What destroys it is panic. If you stay calm, people stay with you. Still, not every day is easy. Sometimes, Alex feels lonely after long hours of work. Sometimes, he feels his English isn't good enough. Sometimes, he worries that others are smarter, faster, or more confident. But every time he feels that way, he opens his notebook, the same one he's had since day one. He flips through the pages filled with words, phrases, and notes. And he sees his own journey, from short broken sentences to long, confident paragraphs. From fear to flow. He whispers, I'm growing. Slowly, but I'm growing. One evening, while walking home, he meets Mia outside the office. She's waiting for a ride. Hey, Alex, she says. How's your week? He sighs, busy. I feel like I'm running all the time. She laughs. That means you're doing something right. He smiles, maybe. But sometimes I worry I'll mess up. Mia nods thoughtfully. We all do. Growth is messy. But that's how we learn. Her words stay with him all night. Growth is messy. Because she's right. Progress isn't clean or perfect. It's full of mistakes, confusion, and restarts. A few days later, during a team meeting, John announces the client just extended the contract. They were very happy with our communication and results. The team cheers. John adds, and they mentioned Alex by name. They said he's professional and clear in every email. Alex looks down shyly, his heart warm. He whispers, "Thank you." Mia grins, "See? All that practice paid off." Kevin laughs, "You're the office celebrity now." Everyone laughs, and Alex feels that mix of pride and peace again, the quiet kind that doesn't shout, but smiles. That evening, Alex stays a little longer in the office. The lights are dim, the city outside glows softly. He opens a blank page in his notebook and writes slowly. Growth is not about never falling. It's about learning how to rise every time you fall. He pauses, then adds another line. English is not my first language, but it's the language of my courage. He smiles gently. Because that's the truth, English has become his mirror, showing him not only new words, but a new version of himself. The version who keeps trying, who keeps learning, who keeps growing. The new year begins with excitement at the company. There's a special event coming up, the annual company meeting. It's a day when everyone gathers to share achievements, ideas, and future plans. John calls a quick meeting one morning. This year, he says, we'll do something different. I want each team to present one story, something that shows what we've learned, not just what we've done. Everyone starts murmuring with interest. Then John looks around the table and says, and I'd like Alex to represent our team. The room goes silent for a second. Alex blinks. Me? John smiles. Yes, you. You've grown so much, and your communication has inspired the whole team. You'll be perfect. Mia claps her hands. That's amazing. Kevin says, you got this, man. Emma adds, you'll be great, Alex. Alex smiles nervously. I'll try my best. Inside, though, his heart is racing. Speaking in a meeting is one thing, but speaking in front of the whole company? That's hundreds of people. That night, he sits at his small desk at home, a cup of tea beside him. He opens his laptop and stares at a blank page. What should he say? What story should he tell? He thinks about the past year, the mistakes, the laughter, the teamwork, the growth. He remembers his first day, when he could barely speak up. And now, here he is, preparing to speak in front of everyone. He begins typing slowly. 1 year ago, I was afraid to speak. I thought my English wasn't good enough. But I learned something important. English isn't about being perfect. It's about being brave. The words flow easily now. Because this time, he's not trying to impress. He's just telling the truth. The day of the presentation arrives. The big hall is filled with people, managers, employees, even new interns. There's laughter, the sound of cameras clicking, the soft buzz of voices. Alex sits near the front, holding his notes. His hands tremble slightly. Mia whispers beside him, "You'll do amazing." He smiles nervously, "Thanks. I hope my voice doesn't shake too much." She replies, "It's okay if it does." That's real. When John calls his name, the room goes quiet. Alex stands up, walks to the stage, and takes a deep breath. The lights feel bright. The faces in front of him blur a little. But then he remembers, he's not here to perform. He's here to share. He begins. Good morning, everyone. My name is Alex, and I'd like to share a story. Not about big success, but about small steps. The room listens. When I first joined this company, I was afraid to speak in meetings. I worried about grammar, about pronunciation, about saying something wrong. But my team helped me. They listened. They encouraged me. They reminded me that communication is about connection, not perfection. He pauses, breathes, and continues. I made mistakes many times. I forgot words. I froze in meetings. I even lost internet during an important call. But every time I learned something. I learned to stay calm. I learned to smile. I learned to keep going. People nod, smiling softly. Now, when I speak, I don't think about mistakes anymore. I think about messages, about what I want to say, and how I want people to feel. That's what English is for me now. It's not just a language, it's a bridge. He looks up at the audience, his voice steady and warm. A bridge that helped me connect with my team. A bridge that helped me grow. And a bridge that helped me believe in myself. There's a gentle silence, the kind that comes when everyone is deeply listening. Then, slowly, people begin to clap. It starts softly, then grows louder, filling the hall. John stands, clapping proudly. Mia and Kevin cheer from the front row. Emma wipes a tear from her eye. Alex smiles, eyes shining. He bows his head slightly and says, "Thank you." After the event, people come up to him. "That was beautiful, Alex. Your story was so inspiring. You spoke with such heart." He smiles and thanks each one, still feeling a little dazed. John walks over and says, "You see? You didn't just speak English today. You spoke courage." Those words touch him deeply. He thinks about how much that one sentence means. Because yes, he spoke courage. That evening, the team celebrates at a cafe near the office. The air is full of laughter, music, and warm lights. Mia raises her glass. To Alex, our voice of courage. Everyone cheers. Alex laughs, "Thank you all. But honestly, I couldn't have done it without you." Emma replies, "That's what teams are for." Kevin adds jokingly, "And pizza." Teams and pizza. Everyone laughs again. Later that night, as Alex walks home, he stops for a moment on the quiet street. The city lights shimmer on the wet pavement. He looks up at the sky and smiles softly. He feels grateful for the journey, for the people, and for the lessons. He whispers, "I used to think English was just words. But now I know it's emotions, courage, and connection." He remembers all those late nights practicing, all those times he doubted himself, and all those small victories. Every word, every sentence, every mistake, it all led him here. When he reaches home, he opens his notebook one last time. On the last page, he writes, "The turning point wasn't when I spoke perfect English. It was when I stopped being afraid to speak." He underlines it twice. Then he closes the notebook gently, smiling. Because he knows this is not the end. It's just another beginning. A new chapter of learning. A new chapter of growing. A new chapter of living in English and in life. It's late evening. The office lights are off. The streets outside are quiet. Alex sits by his window at home, a soft cup of tea warming his hands. The notebook, the one that's been with him from his first day, lies open in front of him. The pages are full, words, phrases, notes, and little pieces of his journey. He flips through slowly. Each page tells a story, the story of learning, growing, and finding his voice. He smiles to himself and whispers softly, "So much has changed. And yet, I'm still learning." He remembers that first morning at the office, the nervous hello, the silent meetings, the fear of saying something wrong. And then he remembers today, standing on stage, speaking to the whole company with calm confidence. How did he get from there to here? It wasn't magic. It wasn't fast. It was just one small step every day. He practiced. He listened. He made mistakes. He kept going. And that's how real progress happens, not in big jumps, but in quiet moments of courage. As he looks out the window, the city lights flicker like little stars. He feels proud, but not just proud of his English. He feels proud of his patience, his effort, his journey. Because English was never just about learning a language. It was about learning himself. He learned how to stay calm when things went wrong. How to speak even when he was nervous. How to listen with care and respond with kindness. And how to believe even when he doubted. He whispers, "Every word I speak now carries a piece of who I am." Because that's what happens when you learn a language deeply. It becomes part of your soul. Your emotions, your thoughts, your dreams, they begin to speak in new colors. And suddenly, you see the world differently. A simple conversation at work becomes a connection. A meeting becomes a story. A mistake becomes a lesson. And a word becomes a window into another heart. A week later, Alex meets Mia and Kevin for coffee. They sit outside, laughing about old stories. Kevin says, "Remember when you were too shy to order food in English?" Alex laughs, "Don't remind me." Mia grins, "Now you could host a podcast about English confidence." Alex chuckles, "Maybe I will one day." They all laugh again. Then Mia says softly, "You know, Alex, it's amazing to see how far you've come. You inspire us." Alex smiles, touched. "Thank you. But I think we all helped each other grow." And that's the truth, no one learns alone. Behind every confident speaker, there are friends who listened, laughed, and encouraged. Later that night, Alex walks home again, the same road he took so many times before. The air is cool, the streetlights glow, and everything feels peaceful. He thinks about all the people who are still afraid to speak English. He wishes he could tell them what he's learned. He wishes he could say, "Don't wait until your English is perfect. Start speaking now while it's imperfect, while it's real. Because that's how you'll grow." He wishes he could remind them that every mistake is just another step toward confidence. And every word spoken with courage is a victory. When he reaches home, he opens his notebook one last time and writes a message, not for himself this time, but for others who will one day feel the same fear he once felt. He writes slowly, clearly. "Dear learner, English is not a test to pass. It's a journey to enjoy. You will forget words. You will make mistakes. You will feel nervous. But every time you speak, you grow stronger. Every time you listen, you understand more. And every time you try again, you become more confident." He pauses and adds the final line. "So speak with heart. Learn with love. Because English is not just language, it's life." He closes the notebook gently, smiling. The next morning, he walks to work feeling light and free. He greets the security guard with a warm, "Good morning." He chats with Mia about weekend plans. He laughs with Kevin over a silly joke. And as he sits at his desk, the familiar sound of keyboards and chatter fills the air again. Only this time, it feels different. Because this time, Alex isn't just part of the office, he's part of something bigger. He's part of a world connected by words, stories, and hearts. He looks out the window and whispers one last line, softly, almost like a secret. "I found my English voice, but more than that, I found myself." And with that gentle realization, his journey continues, not finished, not perfect, but beautifully alive. Thank you for listening to Today English Podcast. Remember, every time you listen, you grow. Every time you speak, you shine a little brighter. So keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep believing in your English journey. You're doing amazing, one word, one story, one day at a time. See you soon in the next episode, my friend.